Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing our December mid-month budget check-in. The budget has kind of gone out the window this month for a couple of reasons that we will get into, but I'm just going to show you guys how I kind of tried to mitigate that, not even mitigate it, but offset it in other areas. So we're just going to be talking about that and kind of getting a plan going into the second half of the month, especially since it is Christmas. But that's what we're going to be getting into today's video. It's probably going to be a quick one because I don't think there's too much to talk about besides those things. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so as normal, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and input all of my expenses into my little spreadsheet, and I'll never show you guys this because it has my bank account information on it. But usually what I'll do is I'll pull up my monthly budget spreadsheet here, and then I'll do split screen and I'll pull up my bank account, and then I just input all of my expenses over here onto the right. Like it's normal, I'll show you guys whenever I do like the screen share, but I've already gone through and done up to December 8th. So we're gonna go ahead and do up until the 15th. And then I'll bring you guys along and I'll show you where we have gone awry this month. So that is the first thing on this.
It's like they spell your name. It's insane. Now we're back here once again. Holidays and cheer. But now I got my eye set on you. I'm not gonna play it safe. I'm not gonna play it safe. It's going down on Christmas Day.
Okay, so I went ahead and input all of my expenses that we're at so far for the month. So I haven't even looked at this yet to see kind of where we're over. I do know that we unexpectedly had to buy hay this month. That was not foreseen, is that the right word? That was an expense we did not expect. We actually, so for those of you who don't know, hay is significantly more expensive during the winter due to like lack of rain, and just the quality is not really good. So it's hard to cut, it's fewer to come by, and because of that, the price is way higher than normally. So for example, around where we live, a 4x5, like a standard round bale, probably could go for about $120, $130 right now, and during the summer that should be like $60. So a lot of people will buy up during the summer when there's plenty more. Now obviously if there's a drought, that's different, but people will usually buy hay in bulk in the summer to try and like get through the winter. So that's kind of what we had planned on, especially because we did get a bigger trailer from Jacob's grandpa, or not his grandpa, his uncle. So what we did was we loaded up his flatbed with 3 round bales, and we loaded up his gooseneck trailer with 6 round bales, so that's 9 total. And I'm sorry if this is not interesting to any of you guys, but I'm just providing a brief backstory. And according to how our 2 cows ate last year, that definitely would have been enough. They would go through 1 round bale probably every 3-ish weeks. Now obviously when it's colder, they go through more because it kind of warms them up. But on top of that, we were also feeding them frequently with feed, which we've stopped doing because it made one of our cows expectant of feed, and so she would holler all the time until she got fed. So we were trying to break that habit. So they get fed very randomly and less frequently, which means they're eating more hay instead. So we are plowing through round bales probably like every 10 days between the 2 of them, which is absolutely absurd. And I know part of the problem is we live on smaller land, so they're a little bit bored. They're just eating it out of boredom. So all that being said, we plowed through those round bales and we needed to get more. And because it's right in the smack of winter, we had to pay premium prices. Thankfully, the ones Jacob got were 100, so they could have been a lot worse. Still, it's a lot of money for a round bale. And the other thing is if you do want to get some for a reasonable price, you have to buy it in like super bulk. But we don't have dry storage here, so we don't want to buy too much because then it'll get like moldy due to the elements like rain and stuff, and then the cows will eat it. So then that would be a waste. Or you have to drive really far, and so then you need to factor in like your time, your mileage, gas, diesel, all of that stuff. So all that being said, we had to buy 3 round bales at $100, so that was an extra $300 that we weren't expecting. But anyways, let's go ahead and start over here. So we're gonna start with income as usual. So both Jacob and I got paid. So we're both on the bi-weekly schedule now, and we get paid on the same day, which I'm definitely still getting used to. We've only had one paycheck. So that just means we both get paid at the same time, so it's a lot at once. But then whenever it's like a week now where big bills have come out and expenses have come out and we don't get paid, it's kind of like, so I need to work on trying to build up my buffer in my checking account again to kind of offset whenever we're having like our bills come out, because they are stacked on the 1st and the 15th pretty regularly. So if our paydays don't align with that, it's kind of like a little bit of a punch to the stomach a little bit. Not saying we're in the negatives on checking, because I did build up a buffer in there for like our biggest bill, just in case, you know, payday and the bills didn't align. I always wanted to make sure I had enough money in our checking to pay our highest bill plus a little more, so we never went into the negatives. So with that being said, we both got paid I got paid my standard amount because I'm salaried. Jacob, his budgeted paycheck bi-weekly now is $1,400, but he actually got $1,826, and that's just due to overtime. So I'm not going to touch any of that now. Normally what I would like to do is put a good bit of this into savings, but because we did go over on like specifically the pet category, which we'll talk about in a minute, I don't want to touch this yet. So pause for a sip of coffee. I'm gonna be that YouTuber that does that, because I hate when people drink their coffee and like slurp it on camera. It drives me crazy. But anyways, so we will be getting paid next Friday, and the funny thing about this is we're probably not gonna have like any bills really. We'll just have a few expenses come out, so hopefully we'll be able to keep that as the buffer. I'm not quite sure how this is gonna work out yet. We'll see. But anyways, let's go down to bills. So we had our mortgage come out, which is our biggest bill. My standard credit card payment, $206 for electricity, so that was lower. We are all on we have no gas here. We're completely electric, so that's why sometimes you probably see our electric bill might be higher than others. We don't have any gas, so everything runs through electric. Heater, oven, dishwasher, washer, dryer, electricity, all of that goes through electric, so that's why that's higher. My 2 standard loan payments that I've got right now, and then internet. And then these 3 are the ones that haven't come out yet. I actually think my phone will come out, what day is this? This 15th. So the phone will come out tomorrow. And then these 2 we can pay ad lib, because this just goes into my savings. And then this goes to our roof payment. And the reason this is $915 is, if you saw in a few videos ago, I did pay off my car. So since we're doing the debt snowball, we're rolling that over into that. So we should be able to get this paid off soon. So I'm excited about that. Now, let's go into my favorite category, which is expenses. So first we have groceries. We're not on track with my goal, so we need to be really conscious about this, especially going into the holidays. I will say, because we're going into the holidays, we'll be eating like at family, so we won't really be having to make as many meals, which is good. And this is also like some stuff for the house that we bought at HEB that we probably could allocate out, especially for the animals too. Like I think I bought some cat litter. Actually, I know I bought some cat litter and some treats and stuff on this. So if I wanted to be super cautious, I could pull this out to make it lower, but for the sake of this, I just didn't. Eat out is higher because our oven went out, and so we had to eat out a couple nights, which was not fun. And one of the things we had to deal with, which was just fun, but we thankfully now have it fixed. My grandpa came, looked at it, and he was able to fix it, which is great. But because of that, we ended up having to eat out quite a bit, and then we did eat out with Jacob's family one night, so that's higher. So we just need to be cautious that no more eating out for the rest of the month if we can avoid it. Alcohol has been good. I just bought a random bottle of wine I was wanting to treat myself to. Gifts have been good. We were gonna buy a family friend a graduation gift, but we ended up not going to the party, and I haven't really seen them in a while, so I just decided instead of spending the money to buy them a gift, we might just have them over for dinner or something sometime. which they will be totally fine with that. They did not expect a gift at all, so that's okay. I might roll this over into Christmas because I have a feeling that there's a strong likelihood that I went over on my Christmas budget, which honestly I'm not surprised about. My love language is gift giving, and I love getting people gifts, and I just like can't help myself. And also part of that, I keep going on tangents. I must be in like a little chatty mood, but part of it is we normally do a gift exchange at my dad's house, like a white elephant, but it's not like gag gifts, it's actual gifts. And I asked my stepmom if we were doing it, and she said no. So I said that's fine. And so instead I decided to get my mom and my stepdad a gift, because we do, on that side of the family, we just draw one name. So like I got my sister, so that everybody's not having to buy for everybody. But I wanted to get my parents a gift because, you know, they're my parents and I love them. And I saw something cute for my mom that I really wanted to get her. So I decided that since we weren't doing that gift exchange, I was going to use that money and buy my mom and stepdad a Christmas gift. So I did that, and then found out like a week later that we are going to end up doing the gift exchange. So fun. And I didn't really want to return the gifts that I got from my parents. So, I mean, they're my parents. I think they deserve it. So it's fine. And then my pocket money, I'm doing good. This was a Hobby Lobby trip for my scrapbooking stuff, so I'm just not spending any more money. Jacob's cash he pulled out his cash, which is good. All right, now we're in the womp 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 section. Now, this is comprised of my kitten got fixed. So she actually had to get obviously fixed from her surgery, which I took her to like this non-profit place, so it was significantly cheaper, and they're really, really good. I've gotten Buddy fixed there as well, because I think the vet quoted me like $500 almost to get her fixed, and this place was $100, because they're all non-profit, so there's no markup. They rely on donations, you know, all that. So that was $96, and then on top of that was the hay. So we're already way over budget here, which is not great, but it's okay. It kind of is what it is. We do have like an emergency fund we could pull into if we wanted for that, or obviously we can take, I'm pointing like you can see up here, use this Jacob's overtime for it, because we're also gonna have to get food this month, and Molly, the puppy, has her second round of shots this month, so I know this is only gonna get higher. Like, we'll definitely be over 500 by the end of the month, so we'll come back to that. The house, we had to buy air filters. We're doing good on gas for my car. We did have to fill up Jacob's diesel one time, and then all of this is in zero, repairs and taxes, which is good. And then tolls is $20. So if you're not from Texas, I don't know if other states are like this, but you have to have a minimum of $20 in like your toll count balance. This might not even be all around Texas. This might just be where I'm at. So I might be talking, you know, randomly, but he had to take the toll road to get to work one morning due to a wreck, and that trip would only probably be like $3, but because our balance was a certain amount, once he used that $3, it meant our balance dipped below 20, so they went ahead and withdrew $20, so I think our balance is like 24 in there. So we had to pay a full $20 even though it only was like $3, which I get why they do it, but it's so annoying. And then I spent $15 on a gingerbread house. We were supposed to do gingerbread houses at Jacob's parents' house last weekend, and we didn't end up doing that, which sucks, but I opened the box, so I can't return it. So we're gonna have to do that for a fun night in. And then I was gonna say there's no gas for the Suburban over here, but I know Jacob made a credit card payment that I didn't know what it was for, and I asked him, and he told me it was for gas for the Suburban. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that over here. If I could spell. And then clear this. And then if you look down here, the reason this is highlighted is because he bought some jeans that he might be returning, so I don't want to account for that yet until we figure it out, but that is where we're at this month. I'm gonna go ahead and save this. But if you can see, we have like, we're negative $1,000 on our spending, which is because we have like bills coming out. Our big bills come out at the beginning of the month. and we're not getting paid every Friday now anymore. So I need to figure this out and make sure, because technically if we didn't have a buffer, we would be in the negatives on our checking, and I don't like that. So anybody has any tips on this, let me know. I'm still trying to figure this out and play with it. I really wish our paychecks were staggered week-wise, but just the way that the cards were dealt, it's okay. And obviously I haven't been able to put any money into savings yet, so now we're gonna figure out kind of, I'm just gonna see if I got my normal pay, $20.80 and $1,400, we would have $2,400 left to spend. Just go ahead and put this in out of I'm just doing this out of curiosity. Going on a tangent now. 100, 50, 100. So we'd have like 804 left to spend, and then obviously that would, we would also have expenses. So we're not doing great this month. We're not doing bad. It's just we need to figure this out. But anyways, I think going forward I'm not gonna lower our budget for our groceries because I think that we're probably gonna hit that. I'm hoping we're gonna stay I'm gonna keep this at $125, and that way we just need to not eat out for the rest of the month. Alcohol, I'm trying to think if we're doing any Christmas parties that we might need to buy some for. That's hard to say. I don't want to touch that yet. I might put this to 50, and then this is gonna stay, that's gonna stay, that's gonna have to go up. So this is probably gonna need to be what, 500, I said. Honestly, it's probably gonna be more. I'm gonna make it 550. The house will be there. Maybe we'll make this 30 and leave it and hope for the best. This will leave to 100 because he shouldn't have to fill up his truck again this month because he drives it so infrequently. This I'm gonna leave because he does drive my car every day, and I just don't know how that's gonna play out yet. I need to put this for that, this for that, and we're gonna leave this here. So we're looking at negative $266. So the good thing is that I can just make this, what would that be? Can I math? 1650, and that covers it. If you me pointing, that'll cover it. And so that leaves 126.27 to put into savings, and I think that's good. I think that's where we're gonna leave it for now, and then we'll save it. So the other option I always have is I could also decrease this because this isn't our actual payment for that. It's only $300, but we're doing that snowball, but that is an absolute last resort because we are trying to get this stuff paid off. So last resort. But anyways, that is my monthly budget and monthly check-in video. I hope this was interesting for you guys. This is just kind of the process I do. Sometimes I do this on a weekly basis if I'm not going to film this video. Or actually, I do try and do this on a weekly basis so that way I can just always keep up with it because a lot can happen in a week. And if you only do it mid-month and end of the month, things can kind of get out of hand quickly. So that's all I have to say about that. And then like I said, if you have any tips on the building a buffer for the paycheck piece that I was talking about, please let me know. I'd love to hear it. Anyways, and I hope you guys have a great day wherever you are, and please subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.